Alrighty. Morning, everybody. Welcome back to streaming. I've missed doing this. It's been a while. It's been too long. The eternal paradox, right? Have a day job, have money to do stuff, and no time. Don't have a day job, have lots of time, and no money. So, yeah, I've been working in an animation studio here in Vancouver for about a month now. And it's cool. I really enjoy the project. The team's really awesome. No complaints, all that kind of stuff. But man, I miss having time to do this. I like streaming. I love working in VR. It's like finding myself and then finding I don't have time to do it anymore. But that's cool. We're here now, and that's kind of the important thing. So today, I'm not sure how long it's going to take. Actually, I'm working on this is actual client work that I can do publicly, so that's cool. I'm making like a fantasy art illustration of a nighttime city scene, and save article. Angle snap 90. Yep, and that vertical. Okay, that is vertical. Cool. Yeah. So sorry. Um, I'm working on a fantasy illustration for a project that someone asked me to work on, and I'm super excited to be able to do it. No, I don't want that there. Um, and I'm super excited that I can share it because I don't often get to work on things in VR where I can share, and that's just really awesome. So, yay me! I don't know that having an angle on a sphere is going to matter much. No, it doesn't. Good, cool. Um, so, um, um, yeah, I can talk. I'm having one of those days. I can tell already. But I'm working on. Huh? How am I giving the whole thing? Oh, because it's way big. There we go. So it's like a nighttime street scene in a city where a necromancer and his minions are playing havoc in the city. Um, and I'm not actually done a lot of work like this before, which is kind of why I thought it would be cool to do, and why I'm psyched that I get to work on it in VR. Sort of coincidentally to this project coming around, I've been watching my friend Martin do these amazing like story illustrations in VR. So it's not just a design, which is kind of what I've been doing mostly, but like just real storytelling, and they've been really cool. And I wanted to try something like that, and then along came this gig, and I was like, well, this would be the perfect opportunity to see what I can get out of that. So that's kind of how we're going to play it. Right now, I'm just kind of trying to sketch out the scene a bit. I want this kind of road to be coming up here like this. And maybe to help me out a little bit, I need to put a human in for scale. Since this is just going to be this is my sketch. There's nothing complicated here. I'm going to throw all this away. Um, trying to get this lined up so it's right. Okay, so that's a person. That's gonna be about our scale of people for this thing. Okay, how do I feel about that? Yeah, so it's like 2.5 people wide. Woo, road's kind of not balanced, is it? The cool thing about this now is it very definitely, I'm using the angle snap, and I've got it set to orient to the layer, which is cool. so I can kind of finally figure out like what's vertical, and that's not vertical. But let's now bring this up. And again, this is just my sketch, so it doesn't super matter. I'm going to throw all this away, but I want to try and get things to where it's, you know, roughly correct. And this is going to be, like I said, fantasy city, so it doesn't have to be. Actually, it doesn't really matter because he's not going to be there either. It doesn't have to be laser correct. Oh, there it is. Shrunk down too much. But I do want to sort of be close to right before I start going nuts with it. So it's going to come up like that. I kind of want our camera to be about like right here. So it's going to be like, you're going to see these kind of hill kind of there. And then buildings like that. Yeah. All right. Just got to nuke the dude. And we got our scale right. And go grab that. And again, we're just going to do it. We're going to turn off snap the angle for this one for right now. Just so I can kind of lay in something. Building like. So it's like that. And then there. We're going to have something kind of like that. And then I'm going to leave an empty spot here like that. And yeah, have a really narrow medieval street, and maybe even, so we said our person was that size, like across here or maybe here. I'll have one of those arches you get from medieval cities. So it's like the building literally goes across like that. And then person's here. And then road. Just going to use this brush because, again, continues around here like this. So we could maybe be here. Too far back. Could be here. You're going to sort of see, kind of looking at it this way. Maybe our like necromancer is going to be like here. And he's going to have some minions crawling around here. And maybe we have like a hero here, kind of like, oh shit! The oh shit hero. Something like that. It's going to be widescreen, so about twice as wide as it is long. It's not on a vertical height. So we need to make sure that we got enough that we can see across there. And I think we do. And then maybe this building just kind of keeps going out here. Like that. I kind of like having that building end there because I want to see the angle for distance. But maybe we have another one here just in case I need something. So it's like that. Yeah, that would be kind of our shot that we're thinking of now. Okay, so again, we've got like flat, but then stairway here. I might increase the angle of that stair just a bit. See, I told you I'm just screwing, but I want to see stair. So it's like, yeah, something like that. We've got our hero there, our undead here. And let's see, like an overhang there, like medieval buildings often have. Kind of the same here. Let's get some. Not sure if I want them there on the angle or not, but something up there. Okay, yeah, so kind of digging it. I think this is going to be a good idea. I've been thumbnailing it for a bit on paper, but this is the first time I've laid it out sort of visually. Yeah. So, yeah, cool. So that's like what I'm thinking for now. Let's save this out now. Not that this matters in any way, but yeah, sure. Put there. Just call it clear. Necro Street. Okay. So this is our sketch layer. And I'm going to just paint it now so that it's completely obvious and ugly, that it's not anything real. Because I don't want these polys to ever show up in our final. I just want to have, it's like a thumbnail. You know, if you're working in 2D, a lot of times you start with like a really rough line sketch, like for a comic book, and that blue pencil line as you were will never ever be seen in the final, but it helps you figure out where you're at and make sure that you're staying true to your idea and your scale and all that kind of stuff. So that's what this red is. It's just this is my red pencil line, I guess. And I probably should, if I had a thought about it, I would have just turned the color to red when I was making it, but I didn't. So we'll just paint it now. Eee! And unfortunately, Medium does not allow you to set things on lower transparency, which would be great because I'd love to have this sort of just floating there, like barely seen in the background, but I can't. So, am I angled off? Let me go, okay, with a new layer. I'm gonna try and fix this time. Actually gonna try and be vertical, right? Correct. And we're gonna go line on and angle snap 90. Yeah, wow, we're way off. Okay, so that's vertical. That's real vertical. So now go back to layer 1 and rotate it. I move this? There's a way to move this. How do we move the scene graph? There's a way to move the scene graph. I've done it before. I don't want it there. I want it over here. Good. Yes, okay. But now layer 1. And now, okay, we are reasonably lined up with what I would call vertical now at this point for our sketch, which is where we want it. Okay. Now, I'm also going to take this layer 1 and I'm going to decrease the res tremendously. Do it again. This is kind of cool today because I'm actually not in a super hurry. Most of the time when I've done this VR stuff, I've tried to have something done like in an hour, and that's been my goal. Today, yep, still vertical, good. I'm not that worried about in an hour, honestly. I'm just going to try to lay things out and get where I want to be. So the first thing I want to try and do is actually over here, but about to the same scale. I want to build the front of a building. Oh, it's so nice. The new snap to angle tool lets you really get things way more in line than I wanted it to be. That's probably a little high. I'm kind of thinking of this building here, but I'm not entirely sure yet which one it's going to be. But again, trying to stay to the scale and lay out front of a building. And I'm on that layer. Okay, good. And the cool thing now, you can actually make layers and then kind of link them underneath. So I'm going to put that inside this one now, and I'm going to go to, I made this yesterday, and it doesn't line up right. Of course not. Turn off angle snap. Just go to single. And this is just a doorway. I think I'm going to give it a color. I'm going to try to use, none of these colors will survive to the final that I'm doing because I'm going to take it into, hello, I picked a color. All right, here we go. Anyway, none of these will survive. It's going to go into probably Keyshot or Octane. I haven't decided which one yet. And we'll use that to surface everything. But no, and other thing, active layer only, you bastard. There we go. So it's not, I'm not worried about it, but having the different colors, I think will help me kind of lay it out the way I want it to be. So we got a doorway. Cool. And actually, we got a little more. There we go. The next thing I want to do is go back to the layer before it and go to that, continuous, that, continuous, and I actually want to cut into the door a little bit. It doesn't need to go back that far, but I want to give myself room that I can put an actual door there. So now I have a space that I can put a door inside and not have it overlap with the front part. Okay, then let's go here, another new layer. Also move that inside, not to there, but there. Yes. So we're in our building layer, and let's go now. It's a good shape. I'm gonna try rocks, but I'm not sure it'll have what I want. I want to. This might work. Let's see. I'm gonna start working on the border shapes of this building. So it's going to have the bottom part of this building is going to have some rock like this that it's used for structure. The other option would be to have it have wood, and I think one of the other buildings will. And let's set stroke taper to not to none, but to scale. So now as I lay in new rocks, they come up in a different size. Okay. So the idea behind this building is it's like going to be plaster on top of a stone base structure, at least a little bit of that. So throw a couple little stones here and there that have sort of stuck out beyond that part. To kind of give it some interest. Okay, yeah, I'm liking that. I don't know if you follow me on Facebook, then you may have seen me rant. I do that. The other day about how it annoys me how people put windows on the ground floors of medieval buildings. It really does. They don't have them. They just don't. Reason being, it's dark in these medieval cities, and on the ground floor at night, anyone can break and enter. So windows are actually a really bad security idea. It's also cold. The glass is expensive for medieval cities. So with no glass, you just got these open holes basically for windows that have wooden shutters if you're lucky. And that's that cool. And it's hard to heat. It's hard to keep secure. So medieval buildings really do not have windows on the first floor. And what a lot of times what we've seen happen, in my opinion, is that people have taken Tudor houses from like the 16th and 17th centuries, from the cottages mostly, and assumed that those are what medieval buildings actually look like. It is not. Medieval buildings are not really like that at all. So we don't have a whole lot of photos left of them, obviously, because just weren't that many surviving camera times for medieval city buildings. City buildings tend to get updated pretty quickly. Let's try that now with this line. And I'm going to try this technique because I like it if it works. Angle snap. Let's turn off angle snap for right now just to get it lined up right. I'm kind of working out how to make this work still. So if I line it up like that, does that give me, or turn off line snap too right now? Still trying to work out this the new parts of this tool. There we go. I want to hold like that. That makes my life easier. Then I want to put on line constraint. Oh, you bastard. It does not want to do it. Okay, so line constraint's going to have to go that way. Now, let's see if I go angle snap. Oh, you bastard. It's not lined up that way. It's because it wasn't set up vertically. Can I rotate it so that it does? I don't. It works really good with the. That's getting better. I say it works really, really well with the square tool, but I want to get this precisely lined up with the bottom of that building. Whoo yeah! Okay, sweet. And then same with the side. It's not exactly right, but good enough for what I want, for sure. That's nice. Excellent. So, as a nod to those fantasy tropes, um, I'm going to do some Tudor siding on the building, which, I mean, not like it didn't happen. So these sightings did exist even on medieval buildings. There we go. Cool. They're just not the only thing that was there. And yes, if you're observing, you'll notice I'm using a stone pillar to make this, but I think for modeling purposes, it'd be fine. I like it just fine. It doesn't matter. Shrink it down. Let's do a half one here with a smaller piece. Oh, that's nice. That's super nice. And the same thing here. And here. So now we do need to decide if this one needs a window or not. I don't think I'm going to give it a window. I think it's going to be, maybe we're down more in like the dock areas or the poor quarter, and they just don't want to do that. So I might give another one a window. I do want some windows, I think, but I don't think this one will have one. Did I turn off? Turned off angle snap. Yep. Got my line constraint. Hello. Line it up right. There we go. And let's get it a little bit better. Okay. Let's see. There's those. And could cross it. I'll go this way on these. Do some. There. There. Dude, see? Pretty cool medieval building right there. Um, we've got that doorway here. So we do have a nice place for some dude to be standing in front of to kind of note the coming of ye old zombies. So let's go add another new layer, also inside my building. And we're going to leave this one, I'm going to get a slightly different wood texture just so I can tell that it's different. But let's turn off line constraint and turn on plane constraint if I can. Yes. Okay. I'm still reworking where all these constraints are. It's a little bit different. I was so used to Medium 1 and I love Medium 2. I really do. But I'm just like, my hands still think like Medium 1 way more than that. And it's been a little interesting sometimes to make it work. So that's going to go like that. Do I want a straight across here beam? Maybe I do. So line constraint. And try the angle constraint. Sure. Oh, I don't want to go on that layer either. We'll be back to layer 6. And we want to select that color again. And then there we go. Dude, I'm liking this. This is cool. I have to admit, I'm somewhat psyched. I haven't tried to do a lot of architecture since 2.0 came out, like serious architecture, and this is nice. We're not going to see that side of this building. I don't think we're ever going to get that far over. I also don't think we're going to see this side because I think it's going to be hidden from us. But just in case it like casts a shadow or we see something or I change my angle, I'll put a little bit more work onto this side. Just so we can see it like that. So there's our building. That, I think it's going to be awesome. Certainly as a starting point, we're good. Let's go with another new layer. Bring it into here. Set our settings, and it's going to be metal, fairly rough, and color is going to be just that. And let's turn off line constraint and make it single. And angle constraint's fine, I guess. Give it a doorknob of some kind. I want to try for some hinges though. Some people do that at the same level. That'd be cool. Let's see if I have anything shape-wise that I can use that'll do that. I don't have a lot of like medieval hinge shapes, but most of my that'll be better. Most of my man-made stuff tends to be much more like high-tech right now because that's what I've been using. But let's turn off angle snap and just lay it the way I want it to be. Cool. That works for me. It's got a little bit of a hinge thing going on there now. There, not that we'll see it, but cool. Maybe we take it, drag it a bit more. Yeah, dude, nice. All right. So we save that. I think that's a cool building for what we're doing. So now I'm going to try, theoretically, I should be able to go to layer 3 and move it and place it in place where we want this to be. You see the power of our sketch layer. I'm not exactly lined up, but pretty close. So something like that. And I'm going to maybe move it over a little bit, give it a little more room. You never want to be constrained by your sketch layer. You're using it to help you. It shouldn't cause you to be stuck later. And save. And dude, like, cool. That's looking exactly like what I wanted. Yes. If I had been even smarter, I could even subcomponentize this and use it so I could just take that roof and put that over there. But I didn't do that because I'm kind of new to doing it this way. But I like that. Yeah, again, here, like that. So let's work on that building now. Again, let's come over to new layer. Add a scope layer. This will be our second building. And we're going to turn on default materials. That's fine, yes. Turn on angle snap. Grab our cube. Turn on line constraint. Make it bigger. And we are not lined up right. Ah, you bastard. Okay, it wasn't the last time, but I guess I've moved things around since then. Okay, let's turn off angle snap. And then maybe turn back on again. Try this out. How do I get this so it lines up vertically? That's the question. Can I change orient to sculpt? No. Orient to layer. Because now I'm off angle totally. And there's our whole thing again. Okay. Now, you bastard, why are you being this way? This is what I had happen to me last time with this thing and why I didn't like it. How do I rotate so this cube is vertical? Because I need that cube to be vertical. I don't want it to do that weird angle crap. No stroke taper. I don't know. Let's just play this for a minute, see. Yeah, see, that's not lined up right. Reset tool applicator. Yes, that's how you do it. Oh, sweet Jesus, yes. Good to know. Knew there had to be a way. Yes. Oh, sweet God, yes. Thank you. I'm easily pleased. What can I say? So let's kind of do this one on this side. Just doesn't really matter, but just because we're kind of thinking about going over here. Let's colorize it back to white because that's kind of our base building shape color. And There we go. So this one's not going to have the overhang because I want it to leave some layer in, but it is going to still be 2 layers, so we'll give it the same basic vibe. There's our structure. And we're going to turn off angle snap now. And we're going to turn off line constraint and go to single. And we're going to add a new layer. Scope layer. And we're going to make it subcomponent of this one. And this one, let's just decrease the res on it, because it does not need to be big. There's nothing interesting on that one. This one there is. So let's go and grab some rocks again. Kind of like this. And shrink it down. And just to be consistent, let's go grab our blue color. And that's our rock layer now. Am I at the edge of my... I am at the edge. So let's move that over. I don't need to be there. Okay. But I'm still on, yes, the subcomponent under that rock. We want to make sure we're in the right place. This guy. I could put angle constraint on it and make it perfect, but I kind of want to feel more medieval, but I don't like, I was trying to see if I like that. I don't like it. Do I like? Also don't like that tree on there, so let's just go with a different rock. Let's grab the rock again. Rock! Rock sand. And boom, 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 boom. So we've got that rock base shape. Maybe this one though, it's going to be rock all the way up to here. That's too even. Let's try a different rock. Go with this one again. Kind of jump it around a little bit. So it's going to have that rock base all the way up to there. And then another new layer. Move it in, not all the way to there. Yep. And gonna go grab color. Let's do our wood thing again. And shape. Go with that again. Did I get it? Yes. Let's go continuous line constraint. And again, I'm not going to line it up perfectly because it's not, maybe a little more perfectly than that though. Okay. Can we just move it along? There we go. Line up there. And then there. There. And across. I kind of like how it's not even. I want to play up sort of the poor medieval architecture of this, so that's sort of my jam. I don't want this one to be an even layer. This one, though, maybe I'm going to actually give it a window. Oh, you bastard. Still outside my space. Fine, I'm gonna have to go to a new layer. Not because I need a new layer, but just because I don't want to move the other one. Doesn't matter. But new layer, move my bounding box over. Fine. Give it its borders. Nice, nice, solid building here. This is designed to test my patience now. Yeah. Reset tool applicator. Fine. Yep, there we go. There we go. Thinking this one might need a window. I think now I will turn on angle. I'm going to get there eventually. Angle on. Yeah, see, we're not quite vertical, my building. That's okay, though. I think I can do this. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe I'll just do it this way. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. One window. Move it into place. Way easier. Where'd it go? There it went. Way outside my space. And actually, let's do it again. Two windows. Oh, undo. Take it down a little bit more. Okay, we got windows. So now that we got windows, we're going to need shutters. Now we can close them. I think that's what we're going to do. I think these are going to be shuttered windows, so we don't need to necessarily. Let's go back to our cube. Single. Turn off line constraint. Go back to our base layer. And again, it doesn't, we're not going to actually go this deep, but now I can put a window there and make it a little inset and not have to worry about the overriding initial texture. There we go. So we got that. And new layer. Bring it in. Move the boundary box. Don't forget this time, Seth. You idiot. No. And pick a new thing. And I'm going to go just to primitives, maybe? Is that where it was? I just want a flat plane. I think there's one I can use somewhere around here. It's not primitives. Traditional? Yeah, traditional. Just a flat plane. Okay. We'll go grab the door color. Might as well stay consistent. And let's just spray it on. Because we're going to take it, move it into place, stretch it. But we'll stretch it with a little bit of a soft inner radius so it's not quite so like in your face. Stretched and in place. Same thing with this one. Window. Drag it into place. Fill it in. window. Cool. And then we'll go stay on this layer. Go back to this piece again. I want to stay with, I think we need to turn off angle snap though. Yes. So what I want to do is across here. Something like that. Cool. Yeah, that's working for me as well. Now we can decide. Let's go back to that layer and that color. And maybe one more down the middle. Just to give us a bit more interest. Kind of looks like a face now. But that's cool. And then maybe do the same here. And here. I'm running against my bookshelf. There. And there. Yeah, it feels like a medieval building. It feels roughly the same scale. Those are big windows, but maybe this is like a, I don't know, a warehouse type building. If we go here to our layer 9, shrink it down, we should be able to just put it in place. And now it feels less big. It's still lined up right. Yeah, so now, kind of looking down the line like this, and that's very definitely the vibe I wanted. Let's bring it down a bit more. Although the floor is not, the ground layer has not been set yet, so who knows. Save. Check see if I got any comments. Nope. Cool. So we see we're just kind of componentizing building this thing. So then the next thing we want to build might actually be that ground, because this is going to be a building that goes against those stairs. And I might want to know what that looks like a little bit better. So let's do the ground. First off, along here is going to be essentially flat. So from here over, that'll be easy. So new layer. I'm going to decrease the res on it right away, twice. Grab that. I'm actually going to try, instead of snap to line, snap to plane. And I'm going to place it here, like so. And I'm going to go to continuous instead of single. And let's grab a different color. I'm going to start with something like that, but I want to move it off of that too. So like that, a little less saturated. So there. So the stairs are going to reach their top right here. Ah, I was on the wrong plane. Where's it going? No, it's going up. Yeah. Great. Okay, so which way is it? That's the plane. Oh, I see. Plane's lined up that way. So now we should be better. So there's our ground for this upper level. So immediately we see that our buildings are not right, which we knew. That's no big deal. Go back to layer 9, which is this building. And we'll adjust them so he sits right. It's going to be at an angle of the building, but fuck, it's medieval architecture. No one cares. And then this one, same job. Bring him down. He's actually pretty good, but we'll bring him down just a little bit like that. Okay. And we are lined up like that. So that building has got a weird little lean to it, but that's cool. I think it's fine, and we can always unlean it later if we want to. Okay. So now I wish I'd put the ground on a different sketch layer. I might actually just do this right now. Going to go select an ugly red color. Sure, doesn't really matter because I want a new layer. This is going to be a second sketch layer. I just want to sort of see where the boundary goes that way and that way, and then that way, that way, and that way. So now if I turn off my sketch layer up at the top, now I know where the road goes. That shouldn't be there. Very narrow curve there, but that's cool. That's very medieval. So, and we're not going to see it probably. So those are our walls now. Let's go back to our ground layer and our ground color. And let's go to this shape because I want it to be stairs. So let's make stairs. And literally I'm just going to come over here. Super cool part about VR, right? I can do this and move around. See where I want to be. I'm not, as you can see, worried at all about making even stairs because I don't actually want them to feel even. I just want there to be stairs. Let's see. So from our initial spot here, yep, that's feeling right. I was trying to check the angle, make sure I was getting something that I was pleased with, and I am. So something like that is how the stairs are going to go. It's going to get steep, which is fine. I, again, wanted to do that. We're not going to see down too far because we're going to be looking kind of like this, but I want it to feel that way. Okay. So now we've got those stairs in place. Now we know where the next buildings need to go. Actually just going to leave buildings, my initial sketch layer off. I'm just going to leave it turned off. Save again. Save early, save often. Okay. Now let's make another building. So another new layer down here. And decrease its res twice, because again, we're not going to do anything to it. Grab the square. Back to white. We're going to do this building now. And remember, we need to have a cross piece here. So another kind of long building, but no derp. No door probably again. So let's go along here. Oh, and we need to make sure that we are on the new layer. And what's our boundary box? It's fine. Cool. So something like that. That's going to be the building. We have a little bit of a hole. And want to go up that high? Let's see. No, and let's actually let us do pull back our initial layer now, because I want to see where. Yeah, okay. Let's move in. Yeah, I don't want that here. I want that open. So let's just get rid of all that crap. Oh, yeah, nope, that's fine. I still got down to the stair. Okay. And that'll be our next building. So turn off the initial. Cool. And we're back on that one, right? Yep. Okay. So get this building. And like I said, this one we're going to actually build into the space it comes from. So you can see those stairs get wonky. They're not really that vertical. Maybe we want to fix them? Let's do that. I think that's stronger anyway to give it more of a steeper. Medieval steps are steep, dude. It too. If you've ever been to a medieval city, those guys did not mess around. Okay, so that's going to be our step layer. It's going to be that. Cool. I think this one's going to just have wood exposed. And on that layer, then a new layer. Subcomponent to that. And grab our wood color. And let's go back to plane, to line constraint. And we want it to be here. Like that. That. Again, because this one is not, this is not a modern military structure or anything like that. It doesn't need to have its bracings be 100% plumb and level and even and all that crap. And sometimes it's probably better for it not to. It might actually draw the eye a little bit more if it's not. So that's going to go there. And we don't need to get into as much detail on this one because it's going to be a bit background now. We want to focus our eye more where it matters, which is going to be everything kind of up here. And we're going to have the crossbar part there too. So all that being said, that might be enough for right now for that building. We might really not need any more. And file save. So we're in here. Yeah, I could totally see us shooting kind of like this. The stairs are now pretty steep, but that's cool. We might be a little higher up than our character. So we just see the tips of those stairs. I think that could work. We're going to have an interesting environment to play with, if nothing else. Maybe I'll make the stairs a little less steep. Just kind of I'm questioning myself, but I want to be able to see that there are stairs is the thing. So if I make them too steep, then you don't get to get that cool stair effect, even if it's realistic. Okay. So there's that building now. I think maybe we want the opposing building on the other side. And I think, I'm going to try this. Layer 16. Can I duplicate that layer? And it has them both. Yes! Because then we could take that building and rotate it around and put it in here. Get a little higher. There we go. So now, always coming back to look at what our angle looks like. Yep, that's right. That's cool. Come back over here, and we'll need to do a little bit more. Potentially, we might not even, but we will do a little bit more. Shrink it down. Make that go like all the way down. Probably don't need to bother. And make it go across there too. It's not the same, so it doesn't need to feel the same. And then if we're going to do that, let's drag those stairs so they go all the way. I Cool. Yep. So now that goes like that. That goes like that. If we're down here, maybe we want to go back to this layer here. And again, just throw on just enough that if it shows up, we don't question it. It's relatively low poly, so it's not a big deal. I kind of like this thing sticking up there, by the way. I thought about erasing it because it was just an artifact, but I kind of dig it, so we're just going to leave it for right now. Okay, so now we want to build the cross piece. I think for this, I really do want to see how big my people are again. There are my people. So the cross piece should be, let's go to the new layer. And square, white. You guys know the drill now at this point, right? This is, you know, let's put on angle, just so I'll get to it eventually. Angle snap. There we go. Excellent. Turn off our sketch layer. And voila! Oh, don't want to move it. Yeah, it's not, again, even, but that's fine. That's cool. I don't think I want it to be up quite that high, though. Take that into there, bring that into there. It's going to be one of those things that's going to be a little bit warped looking, and that's cool. And then decrease the res on it. And give it a child. That layer had a child. Grab our trusty crossbeam piece. Set the color. Yeah, you saw how that did not somehow line up properly. But I think if we make it go like this, though. I actually kind of like that it's not even too. I keep saying this sort of stuff, but it's true, right? Like, I like my medieval a little bit muddy, a little bit grungy. I don't want it to feel perfect. Or I don't. And it's my thing. So, eh. It's my party, and I'll make it how I want to. Let's go back to here. On continuous. Turn off line. Move that down so I don't see it. I don't care as much in the back part because it's not going to matter. So there's that. I wonder what would be the result if we gave this pointy roof. Let's try ye old pointy roof. And the way we're going to do that is we'll go to angle snap. Instead of 90, let's make it 45. Not 60, 45, right. So now I should be able to, yep. And go over the new layer. Bring it in. There. And maybe 60, maybe 30 would be better actually. Let's see, angle snap, I don't want it to be 45, 30? Sure. And turn on line constraint again. Yeah, I don't want it to be like that. Yeah. Except I don't really want it to be that color. I'm gonna go with a nice more of a reddish tone for our roof this time. Okay. So now let's inner radius to 100. So over. I actually like the way it does that too. That's cool. A lot of this stuff winds up being sort of happy accidents. Really does. We got a roof. I'm not worried about the back part of it because, again, you're not going to see it. So we got that, we got that, we get that. I think we need one more of this building, basically, which we can just go grab layer 16 and duplicate it, and then drag it over. Let's see if that does it for us. Yeah, I think that does. I don't think we really need to worry about anything more back. What's that? I've lost the sky there, but that's maybe not a bad thing. Although we could just, if I want that sky there, we'll just do this instead. Let's see if that does it. Yep, that does it. Perfect. Look how narrow that is now, but we don't care because we're never going to come down to that. And we're going to duplicate it one more time just to make sure of that. And we're going to drag it over to here and over. Line it up pretty well. And now, yeah, you never see anything past that. We may get up a little higher. There. Just so that we have roof along there, and we'll actually give it, just to be sure, new layer. Bring it in there, decrease the res 3 times, because I do not need a lot of it now. Go to plane constraint, continuous, grab that, and grab that color. Turn off angle constraint so I can get it exactly lined up to this. There we go. And now it has a roof. Just in case we happen to see a tiny corner of it. Maybe we'll do the same to this building here. We'll just give it a roof. Add a layer. There. Decrease it 3 times. Place it. Erase down. A bit of imperfection even, which I kind of like. And now, yeah, perfect. Okay. Save. So now I want to start playing a little bit more back again with the foreground. We're kind of moving ourselves back and forth throughout this whole thing. we've got our architecture to what I would call, kind of, eh, 90% there. And I want that. We're never going to see this side of this building. I never want to go past here, I think. Um, but I think we do need a little bit more detail here. A lot of this could be fixed with bump maps and that kind of such. But let's just grab that layer, which is the ground is that one, which, where am I? There we go, 14. And let's create another new layer. Go away. That. And take it up to layer 14. So it's part of that indoor. Now, I'm just going to make some basically rock shapes and things here. Let's grab a different, I kind of want something that's more smooth. So I think I might even just do this, something like that. It's real, no plane, single, and color-wise, let's start with that and make it a little there, just so it's different. And I want to like a little bit of rocks there. I'm not sure that these, I mean, obviously, I am sure these will not look like this later. I want them to feel just, I want some variation in visual noise. I'm actually going to decrease the res on this one a lot because that'll help smooth it down. And let's go to continuous scale. So I'm not getting such perfect rocks. I'm just going to throw in some like little opportunities for me to throw some bumps on later in the ground. Never forget the power of carving into things. Stamping is great, but you actually get as much or sometimes way more interest if you can take away than when you add. It's the same when you do Photoshop painting. You throw a stroke down and then you remove parts of it. You throw a stroke down and you remove parts of it. There we go. So, okay. Looking good, giving me some interest. Soon we're going to need to do characters. And we're getting closer and closer to that point. I wonder, I want to see, what layer is that? That's, where am I at? 9, 13, and 12 and 13. I want to duplicate those. And then I want to move them. Good. I don't know where I'm at. Layer am I on? I don't know that really matters at this point, as long as I get what I want. So that. Still that. Oh, they go right at the bottom. Bet you went to the bottom. Yep. 30 and 30. So this is layer 30 and 31. I want to move you. No. Just like that. 30, 31. Good. I wanted a window here. All this is kind of going around to that. And that's the inside. That's the outside. So this one. But I like those, actually. Let's leave that there. That's a nice happy accident. I like having that. That's cool. So, yeah. But yes, I wanted a window there just to give it some more visual interest. Okay. So, wouldn't mind a window there, actually, but I don't want to add too much attention to that spot, though, so maybe not. That's what we're looking like so far. I'm really digging this. I need to do the characters, but I think I'm actually going to stop this video for a minute so I can break it up into two parts. So we'll have the environment, and then we'll do the characters, and then I'll probably do a final pass. Oh, but before I do that though, let's come back to here. Every time you do this, you find that layer. I want that. I want that. I want that. And yes, I want that and that. And just in case, that. There we go. Now if I see underneath that sucker, it feels better. Yeah. Much better. So anyway, like I was saying, I'm going to stop this video recording right now. Probably go to the bathroom, do a few other things, and then I'll be back to play with characters in just a few minutes. And then we'll have two separate ones that I can kind of upload differently, and it's not like a 3-hour long video on my YouTube later. Okay, guys, I'll be back in a minute. Bye.